Hey, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Naval Yemul. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Data Master. In this video, we're going to talk about Databricks workflows. It's a unified orchestration for all data analytics and the AI for your Databricks data intelligence platform. So before we go deep dive into the Databricks workflows, I would like to give you a short introduction on the previous video that I have made on the Databricks real-time project. So I explained you about the real-time scenario. So I strongly recommend you to please go back and watch this video so that you will understand when to use the Databricks workflows, what are the different scenarios to use it. So we have made a production ready notebook, that is Databricks notebook. Now we are going to automate that process. So I strongly recommend you to please go back and watch that video. I'll give you the link on that. Now let us jump on to the Databricks workflows. So it's a managed orchestration service fully integrated with the Databricks platform. So whether you are a data engineer or you might be a data analyst or a data science machine learning, Databricks workflows is for all. So long back, data people used to rely on building up a pipeline, orchestrating it completely on the data engineering side. But now anyone can build up their pipelines, do the task orchestration, do the automation by using this Databricks workflows. So the AI, the UI is so simple, anyone can do that. You can see here it's simple authoring, actionable insights, and it's proven reliability. So you can check the documentation also. And let me scroll down quickly. You can do the integrations with all this. Yeah, so you can just check on what is Databricks workflows. Before that, you can check what is orchestration. So I'll just give a quick recap. Those who might not aware of what is orchestration. So just imagine orchestration like a musician who like uses all these tools to play a very good music. In the same way, when it comes to orchestration in the context of data, the analytics and AI refers to the automation. So this all has to be happen in the automation deployment and then manage all your workflows. So once this automation is done, you have to monitor that. So everything should be in one platform, and Databricks workflows gives you this ability to bring all this in one single platform, and that is Databricks workflows. So now let us jump on to the Databricks workspace. Yeah, so you can find the workflows here, and now you can see the beauty here why workflows is common for all the fields. See, if it is for data engineering, this tab would be in the data engineering section. But no, it's not in the data engineering section. It's common for all. So if you are using Databricks, you might be in any background, you can use Databricks workflows. So that's the reason why they have kept it common for all. So let me jump onto the workflow. Yeah. So now when it comes to Databricks workflows, there are two types here. One is jobs, second is Delta Live tables. So Delta Live tables is completely a declarative ETL framework. It's a framework. We're not going to talk about the DLT in this video. So I have made a separate video for DLT. So I'll give a link for that. If you wish, if you want to learn about DLT, you can just go through that. It helps you to do a data ingestion using an autoloader. You can unify both batch and streaming, and you can do a data quality improvement in that. You can maintain that medallion architecture. There are so many things here. So basically DLT is for data engineers. In a simple words, it's for data engineers. So once we go to the Databricks workflows, in the next video, I'll go and talk in detail about the differences between what is Databricks workflows jobs, Databricks workflows DLT, and what are the different scenarios, when to use jobs, when to use DLT. I'll make a separate video on that. If you want that, please comment in this video that you want a difference between these two. So now without wasting much time, let us start with Databricks workflows jobs. So you can see here, you can create a job by just clicking on this. I have already created a couple of jobs here. You can check who has created it when it was recently run. But let us create a new job. So once you click on this, create a job, it will take you to the new UI where it will ask you to do the configuration for the task. Now, what is task? So task is one single piece of work. You can say one single piece of work. For example, in the previous video, we talked about the data ingestion. So we have ingested the data. So if you look at the part one of this tutorial, you will get to know that one CSV file was manually uploaded in the ADLS. So we took that name and we passed it in a parameter and we clicked on run all. The moment we clicked on run all, so that CSV file converted to the delta, I mean in the bronze layer, delta lake table, it was an external table, and then that CSV file got deleted. So now we need to do this automation. We don't want to manually run it. So for automation, we are coming to the Databricks workflows jobs. In that, we are talking about the task. So that data ingestion is one task. You can create multiple tasks here. Like for example, ingestion can be one task. From ingestion, that is your bronze layer, moving to the silver. So creating a silver might be your second task, and from silver to going to the gold would be your third task, and from gold creating a dashboard, writing some complex SQL queries can be your fourth task. So these can be a different task. So if you want to know detail about that, so you can just check the documentation, introduction to the Databricks workflows. You will get to know in detail what would be the different use cases and so on. So I'll directly show you on the website, but if you want to go deep dive, I strongly recommend you to check the official websites of the Databricks. I'll give you the link for these two. Let me jump on. So inside the Databricks workflows, we have jobs. In jobs, we can create multiple tasks. That's what I'm trying to explain. So first, I'm going to give a configuration for the task. So we have so many details. I'll be starting with the task name here. So first task name I would give as a bronze layer, or you can just say ingestion layer. I'll just write this as an ingestion layer. Ingestion layer. Cool. Now, when it comes to type. So what is your task type? So if you click on this, there are so many types here, starting with notebooks, that is your Databricks notebook. But apart from notebook, you can go with your Python script, Python wheel. Even if you have some SQL queries, you can schedule that. That's what in the beginning I explained you. Databricks workflows is for all data people. So you can use SQL. Amazing. And delta live table, yes, if you are a data engineer and if you want to do the automation for your delta live table pipelines, you can do that. So a quick difference between these two: delta live table can have only the notebooks, they cannot have all this. But in the Databricks workflows, you can select all this, I mean any of that. You have DBT, that is data build tool. You have Java archive file, like if you have Java archive, you can do the jar file. Spark submit, run job, and now even you can do if else condition here. Like, oh okay, if this is one condition, if this satisfies or if this is true, you do this, or if else, you can do the second part, you can do if else also. But now let me do it simple like this. Let me just take a notebook. Now when it comes to third configuration, it is asking you the source. Beauty again. So your files, your Databricks notebooks can be in your workspace or it can be in your Git provider. So even it can automate your notebooks which are outside the Databricks from your Git provider also. Okay, let me just take a workspace, and then moving further, it is asking you the path. So here I'll just click on this and it asks me to browse it. So I have created a new YouTube. In this, I have created a notebook which I have shown you in the previous video, automating the ingestion layer. So I'll just click on it and it's done. So now it's ready for automation. When it comes to selecting the cluster, again, this is so amazing. It can help you a tons of your rupees. If you are moving to your cluster, your Databricks workflow jobs helps you to choose whichever cluster you want. For example, you can use all purpose cluster and see here. Even you can choose your existing SQL warehouses, that is your serverless. You can, this is amazing. This is recently launched. You can use your serverless for your workflows also, or you can go and create your own job. If you are testing it, if you are developing it, go for all purpose cluster, existing all purpose cluster, because it's already up and running. In my case, I have not ran it, I have not started it, but if it is already running it, just pick up existing all purpose cluster, test it. But if you are running in the production environment, if you want to schedule it, then go for the job compute, because job compute are pretty cheap as compared to the all purpose compute. Now to create a job compute, let me just hit on this, and I get the same configuration settings the way we get it in all purpose compute. Now I'll choose a single node, the data size is small, then it's asking me this access mode, I'll keep it single. Databricks runtime version, I'll keep it 14.3 LTS. Then I'll disable the photon acceleration. Yeah, acceleration help you to boost up your queries, but the data set is small, I don't want to use a photon acceleration for now. And when it comes to node type, you can choose whichever node type you want. Now I'll go for 14 GB with 4 cores TSV3. And do you have any tags to add it? I don't think so, I don't have anything. So you can look at the summary here. Hey, you are using one driver, that is single node, and the runtime version is this. There is a Unity catalog workspace enabled for this, and this is the pricing, that is 0.75 dbu per hour. So if you want to know detail about dbu pricing and so on, please do comment. I'll make a separate video on how the pricing happens, like if you are getting 0.75 dbu or 1 dbu, or if it is auto scaling from 2 to 4 dbus, what is the price in dollars or rupees. If you want to know, please do comment, I'll definitely make a video on that. Now it is 0.75 dbu per hour. I'll just click on confirm. So I will be spinning up a new compute, that would be a job cluster. And remember, spinning up a new compute would take long 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You have to wait for that. Then moving further, we have dependent libraries. So do you have any dependent library in this notebook? No, I don't need any library here. Last time I have tested it, so I'll just keep it blank. Then moving further, it's asking you the parameter. Now this is something interesting. So for that, to understand the parameter, I'll just open the notebook here. I can open it from this link, beautiful link. I'll just click on it. It will take me to the new notebook. I mean new window that has the Databricks notebook. Cool. You can see here automating ingestion layer. So we have tried this. Yeah, there is no cluster up and running here. So we have tried this. We have tested this, but to test this we need a value. So the file name is a key and we have a value. So once we put this name, so the name is from the client side, they used to give a name, so I just put it in my widget. These are called widgets. So once I put it, so you would convert that or you ingest that into your bronze layer, and that CSV file would to be deleted. So to make this valid again, I have to upload one more file, but this is what key value pair is. So let me go back, and here you can see when I click on parameter, it is asking me key value pair. So this is exactly what your widgets are. So we have created a widget in the notebook. To utilize that, we use a parameters. Remember, this is all task. We are talking about the task, you can see here. So when it comes to parameters, there are two parameters in this. One is task parameter. Second is job parameter. You can see here we have a job parameter on the right side. I have not explained you on these all details of the job. I'll explain that. Still we are on the task. So it's a job parameter, you can see here. So even you can use that key value pair in the job parameter. But as I told you, inside a job, there might be multiple tasks. So if all the task requires only same key value pair, then go for the job parameter. Or if you say that no, this task has different key value pair, this task has different key value pair, then you go for the parameters inside the task itself. Okay, so you can do both the things, but now let me take that parameter in the task itself. So let me go, this is my key file name, and the value would be the new month, that is June and July is already ingested. If I try to run this, it will definitely fail, saying that file did not exist or there is no file here. but still we are going to try it. We are going to test it. Let me copy this and let me paste it. One thing I would want to note, I want to keep a note. We are talking about the job compute. So job compute is like, it will spin up, it will start, it will execute this task, and it will turn off immediately. So that will save a lot of your cost. If you compare to the all purpose compute, it don't stops, or it will not turn off. It keeps on running unless and until explicitly the user terminates it. Okay, so that is the difference between those two. Now moving further, notifications. You can add a notification whether you want to get a successful message, whether your task has started, succeeded, failed, and where do you want to get notified, what is the destination. If you choose email address, you can choose your email address, for example naval at the rate tdatamaster.in. You can choose this, or you can choose Microsoft Teams, PagerDuty, Slack, and so on. You can get notified. I'll just click on cancel. This is a demo, and here you have a retries, so you can check the number of retries here. You can add it for 2, 3, 4 attempts, 5 attempts, and so on. Similarly, you can set up the duration threshold. You can just click on it and you can see you have warnings and the timeouts. You can choose according to your use case. Now these are not mandatory. The mandatory things are, you can see here, cluster, path, source, type, and task name. So this is just creating a task. So let me just hit on the create task, and the moment I click on create a task, inside a job there is a task. You can see that one task has been created and the task name is ingestion layer. So here at the top, we did not name any job. So the reason, it is showing you the timestamp. So this is the timestamp with a new job. So let me just click on it, single click, select all, and then I would like to give a name. So this is for the ecom. Okay, it is for the ecom, Amazon ecom. Okay, ecom. So this is your job name. Now what I'll do, I'll just go back to the workflows. I just want to show you how it looks like. Oh, beautiful. You can see here. So this is a job that we have created and the job name is ecom. In the job, we have task. Let me show you. Just hit on this, and inside this job, there are two tabs. You can see runs tab and you can see task tabs. So runs tab, the moment you run the task, you should see all the monitoring of that task, when it was executed, at what timestamp it was started, how much seconds it took, and so on. You can see all the details here. Now we have not executed any task, so we cannot see any runs now. So if I move to the task, yeah, just now we created one task and the task name is ingestion layer. So you can see all the details here. I'll show you the beauty of this Databricks workflows. You can just click on this add task. So inside that job, you can add other tasks also. So now we did not create any silver layer, but just let me show you how it looks like. So let me just click on this add task, and beautiful. You can see there are so many other options you can choose from. The type. So let me take a type as notebook, or you can take a SQL query also. So a SQL query, and you can see this. So by default, it is taking up the dependency. You can see here, depends on, it is taking up a depends on ingestion layer. So once this ingestion layer got executed, it will go to the second task. We have not named this task, but it will go to the second task. If you just remove this, these two tasks becomes independent now. This two becomes independent. So you can choose anything from it. Like you can take a SQL query, notebook, and so on. Now I'll just cancel this and I'll click on add task. I'll take a notebook. I'll show you. I'll take a notebook, and now you can see the dependencies. So you can give a task name. For example, this is my silver layer. So I'll make a part 3 of this showing you silver and gold also. Let me take a notebook and I'll take this. For example, I'll take SQL warehouse in the notebook. It doesn't have any meaning. I'll just show you. And one more thing here about the cluster. So when it comes to the second task, you can choose the cluster you want. Beautiful. So you can choose the previous cluster that just now we created, or you would say that no, for ingestion I need a heavy workload, I need a heavy cluster. But when it comes to after transforming it, and when it comes to just refreshing the goal layers, I need a few cores. Obviously you can do that. You can set up your own compute for different tasks. Amazing. So you can choose the different computation for different task. Okay, so that is what I want to highlight. And then I talked about the dependencies. So you can create, suppose there are two ingestion, and from two ingestion you have creating a joins of these two. So the new table would be depending on these two. Yeah, you can just drop down, click on this drop down, and you can choose these two. So there would be a graph created. I'll show you that in the next video. Let me just cancel out. So this is all about the task, this is about the runs. Now let me spend few more minutes on this job details, and then I'll click on run now. So job details, you'll get all the details starting with job ID, who is the creator, who is running this. If there is any tags, you can it shows here, or you can just add it. And you can add the description. So this is for the e-commerce and so on. And then if you want to connect it to the git, you can connect this to a git. And then we have scheduling and triggers. Beautiful. I'll spend some time on this in few minutes. It shows you the compute. I already talked about the job parameters. Then this is a job notification. So we have seen task notification. Now it's a job notification. So if you want to get notified for the entire job, or if you want to notify it for a specific task, depending on the use case, you can choose. Then you can set up the permissions. I can give a permission to others and so on. Okay, you have some advanced settings like you have queues, maximum concurrent runs and so on. Now I want to just focus on this scheduling and trigger. I'll take few minutes here. So when it comes to scheduling and trigger, so let me click on add trigger, and beautiful, it shows you couple of options like we have scheduled, file arrival, and the continuous. So scheduled at a particular date and time, at a calendar time, I want to schedule it, I want to run this pipeline, then you go for the schedule. Or the second use case might be file arrival. Okay, once the file has come into my ADLS, I want to trigger this. I don't know when the file comes. Once it comes, I want to run this job. So we are going to use this file arrival now. I'll just try this. And then we have a third part as continuous. Continuous means, as a name itself indicates, that if you have a use case for streaming, it's continuously running it, then you go for the continuous mode. Okay, so let me choose schedule first. When it comes to schedule, yeah, we have an option whether you want to active or keep it paused. So this is very important. So when I do a training, and when I do YouTube videos, just in case if I keep it active, so this job would run continuously at that point of time, and it will do the task. There is no task actually, it's just for a demo. So after your work is done, it's always recommended to pause that or delete that schedule trigger. I'll show you that. So I'll go from simple to advanced, and here you can see it can be scheduled every day at this point of time and what UTC, and it also shows you the beautiful cron syntax. So if you are not aware of cron syntax, please do let me know in the comment. Maybe in the part 3 I'll explain you about the cron syntax. Otherwise the video would be really very long. Now you can choose it from every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month. Let us keep it as every day, and maybe at 12 uh, 11:46 or something like that. Okay, 16, I'll keep it 16, and I'll take a UTC at 5:30. Okay, so let us keep it simple as a scheduled one only. So maybe in the part 3 I'll show you about the file arrival, and I'll show you about the continuous also. Okay, now let us keep it as scheduled for now. So let me just take it one more minute ahead and click on save. Click on save. Cool. So once you saved it, you can see here it shows you that it would be scheduled every day at this point of time. Okay, and remember, when we have ran it, we use this file, that is mtc b2c July 21. So if I just go back to my ADLS, definitely there's no file here. So what I'll do, I'll quickly try to upload a new file, and I'll try to change the parameter. Okay, excuse me. I'll go back. This is my storage account. Sorry. Just a minute, guys. I'm going to pause it for a moment. I'll just have a water break. So I'll take this 2 to 3 minutes ahead. Yeah. I'll save it. I'll drop it, and then I'll start recording. Hey guys, I'm back. So still we have 2 minutes here. So I have just uh, taking a few more minutes here. I have just added it like 11:20, and I found my container. And if you remember, we were uploading raw data into the raw directory, and then we would convert that to a bronze. So let me quickly upload it now. So I'll just take a. We have uploaded June, July. Now let me upload the August file here. Let me just upload the August file and click on upload. Cool. So I'll just take this file, I'll copy this and I'll go back to the ecom, and here I'll change that uh, parameter. So I'll take this value, I'll paste it here, and the key value, key name would be file name, I guess. File underscore name. Yeah, I'll try to open that notebook here. Yeah, we have one more minute. Let me quickly save this. Yeah, it's file underscore name. Yeah, it's file underscore name. I'll just save this task. Beautiful. Let me save this task, and I'll just show you. It's going to trigger at 11:20 p.m. now. In few minutes, it's going to trigger it. And now you can see here, ecom, the trigger is scheduled and it's at 11:20 now. So within few seconds, this would trigger. Yeah, it's already 11:20. In few seconds, 5 to 6 seconds, it would trigger. And it takes a long time because we have choose the job compute has to, it takes some time to spin, so it takes 4 minutes. I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to start it. So now let me, oh, is it, yeah, beautiful. You can see this, you can see here it's got started here. Oh yeah, you can see here it's showing you the status as pending. So let me just get inside this. I'll click on it, and wow, you can see this is all your monitoring. So it is showing you the status as pending here. It is waiting for the cluster. Can you see this? It's waiting for the cluster, and it shows you the, as I told you, it shows you the timestamp, and it shows you this beautiful graph showing you that on the y-axis it is showing you that, hey, its first task is ingestion layer. If you have multiple tasks, 1 2 3 4, it would show you all the tasks, and it started at this point of time. You can see you have a job id, you have a job run id. It was launched by the scheduler, so we did not do it. It was launched as a scheduler. So duration, it will take a long time now, as I told you, 3 to 4 minutes. We can wait for that, and once the cluster spins, then it starts working on it. If everything is fine, then it will give you succeeded status. Otherwise it must have failed. We will wait for that. Now I'll show you a couple of things here. Just go to the compute. Let me right click. Yeah, so once you come to the compute, yeah, we haven't start spinned any of the all purpose compute. We directly spin on the job compute here, and you can see that job compute is in progress. It's in status, it's in the running state. It's not yet started, so it takes few more minutes to spin this. And once this spins, you can come to your workflow, Databricks workflow jobs, and you should see that your notebook would be running automatically. So this is so simple. You can schedule it at whatever date and time you want, and or you can choose the type as a file arrival. Once the new file arrives, this job cluster would spin up and it will start. So if you don't want to wait a long time for the job cluster, now Databricks offers you the serverless feature. It takes only 4 to 5 seconds to spin it, and you can start it, or it takes up the task. So let us wait for 1 minute. Yeah, beautiful. You can see here your compute has already spinned up. Your job cluster has started now. So it took 4 minutes, as I told you. So let me come here, and now you can see the status as running. So you can just click on this timestamp. It will take you inside this job runs, and it will show you the output. and you can see here it's about to run the first command. So once the cluster spins and it is attached to the notebook, and it you can see all the output here one by one. Okay, let us go back. You can get this when you click on the timestamp, or you can click on this button also, green button. It will take you to the same place. Let us wait for a moment. Oh, beautiful. You can see that this got executed, this got executed, this got executed. Now it's running this task, this command line 5. Yeah, executed, and you got your output here. Beautiful. You can see that all the records have been now appended to the uh, target table. Let me go back. So you got a run ID here, and you can see the status as succeeded. Status is succeeded. Let me go back, and you should see here the status has succeeded. You can view a Spark UI, and you can see here it's launched by scheduler. Every run has the separate run ID. You have a job ID also, and you can see the beautiful graph here. So if you just go out from here, Databricks workflow jobs, and you can see that it was executed, or it was scheduled, and it was status is succeeded at this timestamp, run ID, and so on. So let me go inside this. So this was just to show you a demo. So now I don't want to run this at every day 11:20. We do not have that file. Let me just click on pause, or you can delete it. So this is all about the Databricks workflows, jobs, especially jobs. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you like it, please subscribe to my channel. Please like the content, share it with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next video.